Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Yes 101 Visual Radio. Bringing you the news, I'm Steven Machado. Let's take a look at your top story for this hour. The Election Commission says that all election campaign activities must conclude by midnight tomorrow. The Commission iterated that all candidates of the 2024 general election must end their campaign activities before midnight tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Transport Board, or the SLTB, has announced that 884 buses will be made available for election-related services. According to the SLTB Deputy General Manager Panduka Swanahansa, these buses will be provided based on requests made by the district election officers. SLTB buses will be deployed starting 13th November for election duties. Additionally, special bus services will be in operation from the 13th to 18th of November to transport voters travelling to villages to cast their votes. Moving on. The Ceylon Electricity Board, or the CEB, has requested an additional 2 weeks from the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka, or the PUCSL, to submit the new proposal regarding the revision of electricity tariffs. The CEB had requested for further time since the report has not been finalized yet. The PUCSL had previously instructed the CEB to submit the new proposal by the 8th of November following issues raised regarding the consistency of the proposed tariff adjustments under the previous submitted formula. On more local news, the Ministry of Defence says that legal action will be taken against individuals who fail to comply with the deadline for returning firearms currently held by civilians. According to a senior ministry official, firearms which are not returned by the due date or for which no appeal has been made will be treated as illegal weapons. He further emphasized that the ministry possesses all records of the firearms issued and their respective owners. The senior ministry official further clarified that strict legal measures will be taken against anyone who disregards these instructions. The deadline for civilians to return their firearms ends on the 21st of November. Up next is international news.
International news.
Afghan Taliban officials will attend a major United Nations climate conference that starts next week. The Afghan foreign minister said on Sunday, the first time they have attended since the former insurgents took power in 2021. The COP29 climate summit in Azerbaijan's capital Baku will be among the highest-profile multilateral events attended by Taliban administration officials since they took control in Kabul after 20 years of fighting NATO-backed forces. The UN has not allowed the Taliban to take up Afghanistan's seat at the General Assembly. The Afghanistan's government is not formally recognized by UN member states, largely due to the Taliban's restrictions on women's education and freedom of movement. Afghan Foreign Ministry spokesperson Abdul Balki said officials from the National Environment Protection Agency had arrived in Azerbaijan to attend the COP conference. The Taliban took over the agency when they returned to power as US-led forces withdrew. Up next is your sports news.
Sports news.
Coco Gauff showed supreme determination to come back from a set and a breakdown against Zheng Qinwen to win the season-ending WTA Finals. In an enthralling encounter that lasted just over 3 hours, the American beat the Olympic champion 3-6, 6-4 and 7-6 in Saudi Arabia. At 20 years old, she is the youngest player to win the tournament since Maria Sharapova exactly 2 decades ago, and the youngest American since Serena Williams in 2001. That's it for your news. Stay tuned for more of the very latest.